Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this video I want to set a challenge for myself. I want to see if I can reproduce retouching that I did about 2 weeks ago that did really well on Instagram. This is the before and that's the after. So it's really getting this sort of grungy, very sort of HDR, illustrative kind of look. Being able to really know Lightroom and Photoshop and all these kind of tricks can take your photography to the next level. If you don't know these little tricks, you're missing out on something and you could be doing much better retouching without knowing about it. So let's start now. So look at this. I started with this so underexposed photo. I shot this at 800 ISO f4 1/30th of a second. I was sure that I was going to do nothing with it. And by accident, by playing on with some preset, I came down to this. And I want to recreate this effect and show you the entire workflow. For this, I'm going to use the reference mode in Lightroom, which is really cool. What is the reference mode, you ask? Let me show you. If you click here on RA for reference, you can click and drag a reference here, and you can click and drag a raw file here, which is what I'm doing. And I can use this as a reference to try to mimic on the right side what's happening on the left side. So let's do it. The first thing that I did on this one, if I remember well, is I opened up the shadows. I put my blacks around like 60, 70-ish, something, and my black -10. I added about a lot of contrast, okay? And I made it, this was too warm for me, so I added a lot of blue, like around 3800, and I didn't touch the magenta. That was the basic idea. But here's the trick. I added a lot of exposure and I added a lot of clarity to get this sort of really grungy look. And I added some minus dehaze. Now, dehaze usually adds contrast. If you go on the right side, it's going to make it very contrasty. But if you go to the left side, it makes the photo a little brighter, but in a really sort of a cool way. Okay, it doesn't look at all like the left side because the cropping is off. So now, if I use the crop tool, it's going to say that we need to exit the reference view mode. That's fine. So I'm going to crop it. Well, before I crop it, you know what? I'm going to make it straight. So for this, I'm going to go all the way down here and I'm going to click here on auto. It's going to make the whole photo straight. All right. And then I'm going to crop it so that I only have this restaurant, this first thing here. And I'm going to crop it roughly here and roughly there. Now, I made this for Instagram. This photo actually did really well. It was my most liked photo, I think, in the last 3 months on Instagram. So that's why I'm showing this to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my crop is Instagram friendly, which is 4:5. And you see, it did a slight change, almost, you could hardly see it. It is very important that you crop 4:5 if you want your photos to get the best exposure on Instagram. Now, it's way too bright. So I like the inside, but up here and down there, it's way, way, way too bright. So I'm going to take a gradient tool and I'm going to click and drag. Okay, and I'm going to double click here on effects so that everything is at 0, and I'm going to add some minus exposure, and actually a lot. I really want to make this darker, and then I'm going to click and drag and do the same thing at the bottom to really sort of close the photo, make the top and the bottom darker so that people really see inside of the photo. That's really important. Don't forget, the eyes goes to the brightest part of the photo. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget to like this video and leave me a comment. I watch every single comment. If you like this video, a lot of good things is going to happen in your life. Or maybe not, but at least you can help me to share this video so that more people can see it. But let me show you the end of this retouching. It's not finished. So what I do is like, oh, the colors are completely off. It's not the same feel in this one. So let's see what I did here. Oh, you see, I went very blue, 3800, but I went a lot more magenta, plus 30. So let's do that. Let's add plus 30 of magenta on this one. Okay. And yeah, that's already much closer to what I did here. And then what else did I do? Plus 95, plus 55. See, plus 0.95 of exposure, plus 55 of contrast. Oh, clarity all the way, and Dehaze minus 33. So that's the magic trick. So let's see if I did the same thing here. Yeah, clarity plus 100, Dehaze a little less. Yeah, minus 33. And then I think the whites was not as strong. But on this one, I'm going to do two things that I didn't do on the original photo. Basically, take a brush, and I'm going to double click on effect. I'm going to add some yellow, add some exposure, and add some texture. And I'm just going to brush inside to add even more texture and light to this photo of the inside. But I'm also, and check this out, I'm also going to use the texture slider, and I'm going to add a lot of texture on this one. I didn't do it on the original one, but I'm going to, I'm really going for this grungy look. And the texture is really going to get the texture coming out. So we're getting much closer to what I did here originally. I think the main difference is, I think it's a little warmer. I made it a little warmer there, a little brighter, and a little more contrast. Yeah, something like that. And I really love this look. I mean, this is where we came from, and this is where we are. You can download this file if you want to. You can even post it on social media as long as you credit me. The link is below this video. I think the only thing I did different is this one. I actually went too low. I went a little higher up on this one. Yeah, something like that. But you get the idea. Let me show you. This is crazy. This is the before, and this is the final result. My most liked photo in the last 3 or 4 months. All right, guys, I just came out with my best course ever. Here's a little presentation. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. I'm really happy to announce you that I have a new course coming out called the Fine Art Masterclass course. This is 7 years in the making, actually even more if you take into account when I shot the photos. But basically the idea of this course is I'm going to show you all the best photos of the 6 coffee table books that I've published over the last 7 years. We are going to start with the Paris book, black and white. I'm going to show you some of my best shots, like this Arc de Triomphe photo that I retouched with Aurora HDR and Lightroom. This crazy panorama of the Eiffel Tower that is my most sold panorama of the Eiffel Tower in galleries. Then we're going to do the New York book. On the New York book, I'm going to show you so many projects. This beautiful black and white of Brooklyn, a metro station in black and white. I'm going to shoot the back cover of the book with this photo of Brooklyn. And I'm going to shoot sky replacement with black and white of this foggy photo of the Manhattan Bridge. Then we're going to go to the Venice book. And on the Venice book, I'm going to show you so many projects, from carnival shots to extreme long exposures to some of my most iconic photos of Venice before and afters, including Vertoramas, including long exposure with filters, everything. So many projects in Venice. Then we're going to go to the Los Angeles color book, where I'm going to show you lots of projects. Beverly Hills, colorful. I'm going to show you how I did the cover of my book, which is not only the cover of my book, but it's also the cover of the State of California magazine. I'm going to show you some projects from Venice Beach, some panoramas in downtown, some photos for the Malibu State Park. In all, you've got over 25 different projects. Then we're going to go to New York, and I'm going to show you how I made the cover of my new New York book. Many projects, Central Park at fall. I'm going to show you this amazing photo of Central Park, how to shoot at night, how to create really interesting vertoramas in the city. Last but not least, we're going to do my Paris book, where I'm going to show you some crazy projects, including the cover, which was a very hard project, including my most famous HDR photo of the Eiffel Tower, including crazy HDR panoramas with different kind of colors, and last but not least, day to night kind of photography. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know in this course, including a business class on how to get a better exposure in the media, how to get published in magazines, how to get book deals, and how to get into galleries. So if you want to take your photography to the next level, if there's only one course you want to buy from me, that is a Fine Art Masterclass course. Not knowing how to shoot and knowing Lightroom and Photoshop can really make or break your career. I really want to help you to get to the next level. This is a perfect course for you. I'm sure you're going to love it. It's going to take your photography to the next level.